Welcome to the Original Titan channel, where we are looking at the holomind perceiver, parts of the circuit board. Looking at the holomind perceiver, we are familiar with most of its parts. In this session, we will center on the middle. Here we have the ninth or inner time dimension, and we can see quite a bit of sigils and numbers. Let us go over what we already know, which are the octaves that happen to be in the ninth time dimension from the seventh mental sphere. And we come to 65. 65 here stands for the octave of divine decree of letting there be. N, which is a neutron, represented by Yogi Yogini S. Knapp, 81 octave of galactic life whole, and that is radiogenesis establishing galactic life whole. We see the 105 here. 105 is the octave of infinite mind wave. And as we go to the bottom, that represents the ninth time dimension, we have 98 right here, which represents the time equalized by the union of ascent and descent. E, represented by the sun. It is also an electron, and this E or this electron is a part of the galactic arc whole, which is defined by time. Lastly, we see 74 here, which is a part of the tree of fire defined by the ring of time. Let's move on to the outer parts of this ninth time dimension, where we see the hyperpartons. And the hyperpartons are what we did not see on the rest of the holomind perceiver when we were looking at it, but we did make mention that we would go over it. So we're going to go over it at this time, and we know these particular hyperpartons to be cosmic electricity. They're generators of that cosmic electricity. And don't forget that that energy is flowing from them, from B52 113 Halamai, the Hunepku, and it's going into these hyperpartons that's going to generate that energy, okay, to each part of the holomind perceiver, whereas alpha is going to deal with this particular parton, which is Dum Quali, okay. Dum Quali is the primal heat, or it's a thermic element, and it works with alpha. As we move down, we come to Dum Dwar, the triangle-looking symbol. It's primal light or luminic element of light, and it operates and works with alpha beta. Okay. When we move over to beta, then we come to what we call the light of inner heat, which is chemio. And beta works with light of inner heat, chemio. Then we go up to beta nova or beta alpha. And that's going to work with the heat of inner light, which is calm. And all of these, remember, they are going out into those four mental spheres, time dimensions that we talked about in the very beginning of this series. Remember when we were looking at how the energy went inward? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. But when it came to 13, 14, 15, and 16, we couldn't see that at that time. Now, the unit 16, as we can see here, unit 16 all the way around here, that is the ninth circuit of the galactic fifth force, okay? Remember, the energy went from left to right. It goes through these, and then it goes upward for alpha. Remember, for alpha beta, it went from this way, and 13, 14, 15, 16, and then it went downward. For beta, the energy went upward, and 13, 14, 15, 16, and then it went out. For beta alpha or beta nova, the energy went from upward, and then 13, 14, 15, 16, and then outward. Of course, we can always revisit the prior sessions to get an idea to bring it all back into memory. But now at this time, let us look at the fact that we went over, remember when we went over 10, 11, and 12 of the horizontal, okay, on both sides, the fifth dimensional side and also over here on the sixth dimensional side. And now we see how the energy is generated, sublimating and activating on both sides as a switched polarities, remember? Now, these black dots, we have 12 altogether that's going around. We call them the guardians of the gate, or the guardians of the fifth force. And what they're guarding are the 9 stations of the ark. The first station is called Abraham, the archetype of the progenitor. Okay, second station is St. John of Patmos. And Patmos Blava, might be saying it wrong, but it means the archetype of the revealer of hidden knowledge. Now, the third station down below here is Krishna and the avatars. The fourth station of the ark is the Buddha, archetype of the enlightened one. And just see how it's right close to the sun here, 90 E. That represents, and it's the BMU of the sun, the enlightened one. Number 5, the fifth station, is the primal Adam, the archetype of the first created human type. Number 6 is Eve, Mary, and the Red Queen, the archetype of the divinely creative feminine, Shakti. Number 7 is Muhammad and Quetzalcoatl, which are the archetype of the divinely inspired prophets. Number 8 is Jesus Christ, the archetype of the resurrection. 9 would be in the middle, which is Noah, Pakel, and Volum Votan, archetypes of the messengers of time and the system of the cube. This concludes all 9 quadrants of the holomind perceiver. For more information or for classes on the many levels of the holomind perceiver and how it can help in your journey, contact me, Michelle Ken 258 at the original Titan 456 at yahoo.com. Peace to the gods.